Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we have some exciting new games for your Switch this week. Thank you as always for hanging out. The indie scene has been really hot lately, and I can't wait to show them off to you, so we won't waste any time with a long-winded intro. Smash that like button, and let's dive in. Stay safe, my friends. Alright, we'll start with Kraino Origins, which is a retro-inspired action platformer that will last roughly 5 hours or so to finish up, and it features 2 main level designs. The first type of levels play out like a 16-bit Castlevania, only with checkpoints, so if you happen to die you just respawn and you have to get back to your body to recollect your loot. And the other is a gauntlet, so to speak, where it's one-hit death, but you are rewarded with an upgrade at the end. The boss battles are fun and you get 8 total stages to work through. It released yesterday, March 28th with the price of $11.99, and it comes to us from Out in Pixels with a download under half a gig. Next we have Pirates Outlaws, which is a single-player deck builder, and this one is a roguelike as well, so be prepared for that. It can get pretty difficult, and I know the combination really isn't for everybody. It reminds me a lot of Slay the Spire, and it's been out on mobile platforms for a while, finally getting the port here to the Switch. You work your way through battles, building up the best deck you can form from the more than 700 possible cards that you can collect, and as you progress upwards, you also have the option to heal up or buy upgrades, and of course the battles become much tougher as well. It offers 16 playable characters and multiple game modes for a ton of replay value, and it releases on the Switch today, March 29th, with a price tag of $16.99, and the download is about half a gig. Up next we have Gripper, which is a wild new game that I recently had the chance to play, and it's basically a single-player arcade story-driven mashup of genres, where you're taking out bosses and racing through hazardous and somewhat disorienting levels as you seek answers for what happened to your parents. Now the boss battles are played from a top-down view, and it utilizes a twin-stick control scheme allowing you to grab different objects or enemies and then hurl them through the air, causing explosions, and in between those battle sequences you have these on-rail style racing portions, which are the most addictive part for me. There's also some customization and upgrade options as well in the main hub, and this is another game releasing on the 29th, this time with a price tag of $19.99, and the download is just under 2 gigs. Up next we have Assault Suits Valken Declassified, which is a port of a classic single-player game from the early 90s, and it's finally getting a Western version complete with translated story scenes and that intense gameplay you'll remember if you were lucky enough to have played in the past. In addition to the game, you'll also get an 80-page guidebook that's also been translated into English, and it adds to the depth of the story in the game a bunch. Plus you get the modern-day conveniences like save states and screen filters, and you can even earn secret endings as well. Now I have to re-emphasize, this is a tough-as-nails arcade platform shooter, but if you're up for the challenge you can pick it up on the 30th for $24.99, and you'll need about 1.5 gigs for the download. Up next we have LUNARK, which is a single-player sci-fi narrative-driven platformer with an extreme retro aesthetic, and it reminds me a lot of games like Flashback or Another World. If you've played older games from the 80s, you'll know what I mean when I say that the movement and controls will take some getting used to, and there's no shortage of deaths that are caused by this issue. In addition to the retro feel of the game, you also have a ton of NPCs to interact with, and the more you get into the habit of doing this, the more of the story that the game will tell you through conversation or exposition. And on top of that, of course you have the amazing cutscenes that'll push you along until you get back into the action. This is definitely a promising looking indie title coming to the Switch on March 30th with a price tag of $19.99, and the download is just under 200 megabytes. Next we have The Last Worker, which is a single player first person puzzle style adventure title with a download around 3 gigs, and in this one we play as an employee at the largest retail store in the world, and we're asked to dismantle it from within. Now you will be equipped with a versatile tool that you can use to perform several different actions, and it does have a fully voiced story which should help add some sense of immersion while playing. And of course, as you can see, they went with a unique graphical style that does look pretty cool on the Switch. If you're interested in this one, it releases again on the 30th for $19.99. Saga of Sins is a single-player action platformer with a download around 4.5 gigs, and it does have a pretty heavy story in which we're tasked with restoring peace to our home village after it's fallen into sin. In fact, each level is broken down into a few different sections, each related to one of the 7 deadly sins, and then you'll face off with the boss for each as well. Now sadly the controls and gameplay never really feel all that great, and some of the boss battles are insanely hard, but mostly due to wonky controls and not really as a result of solid game design. It definitely needs a little bit of work, and I would suggest waiting to see how it turns out down the road after maybe a patch or two, but if you're interested, it does release on the 30th for $19.99 here in the US. Up next we have Anyaroth, the Queen's Tyranny, which is a single-player action platformer with a 1 gig download and a story that has us taking on an evil queen as she attempts to rule the world. Now this is no small task as she's already taken over most of it, and the game has a retro-inspired look with a modern feel, giving you free aim and a variety of cool weapons or gadgets to use, and a few distinct locations as well. In addition, there are collectibles you can find which will unlock a few hidden secrets throughout the game, and it definitely is another one that looks promising. If you're interested, it releases on the 30th with a price tag of $14.99, again here on the Switch. Orebody Binder's Tale is a true retro platform adventure title designed for one player, and the devs have promised they stayed within the confines of what developers would have had to work with back in the 8-bit console and home PC days. This one has a download just under 200 megabytes and follows a lonely robot named Binder as he runs and guns through several different levels across an alien planet. It promises to be an authentic old school experience, and I'll try to get some gameplay out as soon as I can, but just know that for all the good that comes with that, there's also just as many bad elements as well, and some of them have definitely popped up for me already and caused major frustrations. This is another game I would recommend waiting for a sale on, but it does release on the 30th for $9.99 if you're interested in giving it a look. Next we have Blade Assault, which is a single-player roguelite in the form of an action platformer with a download just over 1.5 gigs. Now in this one, the rooms are randomly generated each run, and it will last about 2 hours with randomized power-ups given as well. This one can definitely get hectic pretty often, causing the screen to become overly cluttered, and this may cause more than a few instances where you'll take damage that you just couldn't avoid. It does have a pretty cool pixel art look, and the controls are responsive, but again, I think this is one I'd wait for a deep sale before picking it up, as the Steam version was more frustrating than fun oftentimes. If you are interested though, it does release on the 31st for $17.99, and there are physical pre-orders available online as well. Alright, and finally we have Arcane Vale, which is a single-player top-down adventure-style RPG, similar to older Zelda games, just with a bit more of a focus on character customization, and with a deeper combat system. It's a huge open world RPG with quests and side quests all over the place, and it offers dozens of hours of gameplay, upwards of 40 maybe for some people. Now on top of that, as you play through, the game gives you the freedom to sort of become whatever type of player you'd prefer, almost like you would see in a game like Skyrim, and the weapon variety is top notch as well. The story is perhaps the weakest part, but overall this was a fun game on PC, and as long as it performs well on the Switch, I'd say that RPG fans should definitely consider it. It releases on the 31st for $7.99, which is a steal at that price point, and the download is under half a gig. Alright everybody, thank you all so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video or you like the Switch, we have plenty more content on the channel. Feel free to check it out.